I'm just minding my business, and I'm steady counting Benjamins. And she say she wanna roll. What's up? What's up? We back. Welcome to the channel. I am your host, Charles El Cheapo, and today we're gonna do it a little bit different. Man, I'm gonna go ahead and do a story time. See, I was writing a book, a memoir, or whatever you want to call it, based off my life, because I've done and been in through some wild and crazy situations, and I thought it'd been a cool idea to put it in a book form. But since we are content creators and we have a YouTube channel, we can go ahead and put it in video form, and I can just tell y'all the stories, and we can always come back to these videos for reference. Maybe it would go into a book later. Maybe we might make a show or movie. I don't know. But yeah, crazy stories. But today, going ahead and stuff $82 into some envelopes. According to my calculations, I am off by 10 days. So to keep on track and catch up, I'm going ahead and stuff these 10 envelopes with this $82. You know what I'm saying? We got the 9, the 13, the 12, 18, 19. So that's $6. It's still $82 that I am behind. Those envelopes has already been stuffed. That's the 50th. Started yesterday and the 51st. So this is the last stack. This is when we done working with it already. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put the 82 and catch up on these 6 days. So the earliest memory I could have being violent was when I moved to Los Angeles, California at adolescence. My mother was married, and there was a lot of situations going on in the city between my mother, my stepfather, my daddy. So they figured it was best to move out of town, take me and my brother, and they moved to Los Angeles, California without my dad even knowing. I think they had like split custody, but it's hard to split the custody if you leaving without permission or the other party even knowing. Moved into these apartments off of West 27th and 7th Ave, Los Angeles, California, which is South Central. It was a blood neighborhood rolling 20's to be exact. And by me being just a tad bit older, I was a new kid on the block, so I was tested. This is the first time I was in a fight that I can think of, right? Got into it with this dude named Craig from over there. I was carrying some things into the apartment unit that we had just moved in, and he kind of like bumped me or knocked some stuff out of my hand. And I was not a happy camper with that. So in the midst of that, he did it, and we ended up fighting. Like, first time ever been in a fight ever. And I beat the dog shit out that boy. I dog walked him. You know what I mean? I'm from Indianapolis, so we ain't used to having bars on the windows and things like that. So I just remember just like he knocked the stuff out my hand, and I'm like, what you do that for? And he, said a bunch of stuff. So then I bing, up. He got something in. I threw him against the wall. He had braids. Took his braids. Boom, boom, boom. Beat him on the bars like that. Man, I beat that boy so bad. His mama came out, tried to fight me. Now, my mama had to come out and get on her. It was a whole fiasco because it was like, dang, man, my mama was young too. She was in her early 20s. Because I was only in the 2nd grade. That's the crazy part about it. Like, Los Angeles, California is extremely fast versus Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm talking about light years. You know what I mean? I just finished 1st grade, so this was the summer of me about to start the 2nd grade, because I started 2nd grade out there. and I finished back in Indianapolis. That's how fast Los Angeles is. So in the midst of that, I dog walked him, right? First fight ever, like Molly walked that boy, demolished him. You didn't hear what I'm saying? He ain't want no more smoke. First taste of blood in my life. So what happened? His mama tried to fight me. My mama was like, hell no, you ain't about to fight my son. She always with the drama. She is with it. Anybody want the smoke, she want the smoke. She don't give a damn who you is, how you are. She want it. So my stepfather, he was a little bit older than everybody out there, basically, because my mom like older men, right? He was older, so he was able to calm the situation. But I think like some people tried to jump my mama, so he had to up the pole like,
old man really wanted to do me, didn't he?
nah, we living here, we ain't moving. Y'all gonna have to respect us. We gonna live here just like y'all. Older man know how to diffuse the situation, wise it down. And you gone in the house, Umar. That's what they used to call me, right? Umar. My brother's Ali. So I realized like, dang, this is a big deal, like a whole thing. But I didn't know the Bloods the older Bloods put Craig up to do that, to test me. Cause they knew I wasn't older like them, or they could have did it, but they didn't know how old I was because I was a big ass kid, right? So they put him up to do it just to test me, test the heart, test him, test everybody, right? So when I realized that, I'm like, oh, okay, it's cool. I remember having a girlfriend out there, and she stayed in the 30s. Like, I was walking her home, and the homies was like, nah, come back, you can't go that far, this and that. I'm like, man, it's all right, we good. Like, I'm not really grasping the concept of Bloods and Crips out there. Like, I never really got it. Like, how old boy from the wood was, Bud, cuz what? Yeah, that type of thing. And it's like, man, Bloods wear red, Crips wear blue. I was like, oh, like G's and V's. What? That sound lame. G's and V's, what's that? Gangsta Disciples, Vice Lords, Vice Lords, you know, they making fun. I'm like, all right, that's a real thing back at home, but whatever. So there's like, yeah, we all, this a blood neighborhood. We wear red over here. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. So when I was walking old girl home, they was trying to convince me to come back because like she stayed over there in the 30s. Her little brothers was like, you better get back over there because you gonna get beat up, man. Shut up, punk. I got another girl in trouble because she stayed around the corner. I went to her house, had a crush on her. And, you know, she wasn't supposed to have boys over, so her mama come to the door, who are you? Oh, I'm Charles. Woo woo. You know him and blah, blah. What I tell you about why he wouldn't be here if you didn't invite him and blah, blah. The girl didn't know shit about it. I got her in whole trouble. She didn't even know. I remember Phil, like I said, he stayed next door to me. He had helly sisters. Man, he had this one sister. She was like 16. Man, she was fine as hell. I remember trying to shoot my shot every single time I got. And she's like, boy, get away from me. You too young for me. You too little. And I would say consistent on her. Nah, baby, I want you. So I remember one time I caught her in a vulnerable state sitting on her stoop. I came outside sitting on the stoop. What's happening? This and that. I ain't got time for your stuff today. Nah, I'm just here to listen, you know. Young, managed. So she opened up and I'm like, man, you know what? I think she was having boyfriend problems. I was like, man, when I get 16, my young mind, right, thinking she's still gonna be 16 and I'm 16. When I get 16, I'm gonna make you my woman. Boy, by the time you 16, you gonna have a lot of girls and you ain't even gonna be thinking about me. Nah, I'm gonna want you, baby. She's like, I think about it. I was like, yeah, just wait for me when I'm 16, right? Mama, you sent me back before I can turn fucking 16. I couldn't even get to her now. And I thought she was the best thing smoking. Get out there, like it was such a crazy experience for me. Like I said, that was my first fight out there. Then I started getting a lot of little trouble out there. Like I learned I know how to fight. So I was trying to fight any and everybody at that point. Don't Be a Menace filmed out there. That was crazy. They was filming that as I was going to school. I remember getting out of school and they had the street that we normally walk down. That street, man, they filmed Don't Be a Menace. They filmed Menace to Society. They filmed, I don't know, I think Boys in the Hood was over there. One of them, but that street was known for a lot of movies. I'm gonna pull it up on a couple scenes. Like that was the street we walked down to get to school and walked up to get home to the apartments. But they had it blocked off when there was shooting Don't Be a Menace. I remember seeing Q-Tip getting hit by that car. He flew in the air. I'm like, oh snap! Like he just got hit by a car. I'm amazed. I'm like, man, that's a movie. Like, what? Ain't no movie. You just see that? Not knowing, like I said, we kids. I ended up beating up a Mexican out there. Like I think he was bullying me. I think he was like bullying me, poking fun of me. And I remember one time he was playing tetherball on the court with him and his buddies. I'm like, hey y'all, you see that Mexican? He said, fuck the 20's. They wasn't going. It's like, man, I don't care. Like, that's your fight. He said that to you. Niggas don't be riding for real. Right. I'm like, all right, bet. He was playing tetherball. He got his back turned. I ran, jumped on his back, choking him, beating, bing, 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 bing. Mink up, mink up, mink up, mink up. Right. So I ended up beating him up. And then I remember me and my mama, my brother was going to the laundromat. And we walked down the street, which like right around the corner from where we live. I'm like, Mom, can we not walk down this street? She's like, boy, why? What's wrong? What's wrong with this street? This way the laundromat. I'm like, I don't like this. She's like, you in some type of trouble? Nah, no. But they gave me a whole pass though. One, because I was with my mom and she was in full hijab. She a Muslim, right? So they taunted me and I'm taunting them, but they gave me the whole G pass. They didn't even say nothing. Like that was crazy with them. And then another altercation. It really wasn't a fight, but it was an altercation. We was in the lunch line and there was some dudes from the 30's. Mind you, we all kids, by the way. So when I'm saying from there, that is crazy to even say that, but this is how fast and how quick that lifestyle latches on to people. We freaking elementary kids, you know what I mean? Like, so when they talk about kids in Chicago carrying straps at 12, 13, 14, kids in LA banging, it is real. Like we was younger than that. So by the time I was 13, if I would have stayed out there, been a triple OG, like just from these stories I'm telling you now. But anyway, back to it. We in the lunch line. They get in, they from the 30's. So Philip, Craig, those like the main two I used to hang with. They was yapping with these dudes. These, man, fuck y'all 30's, y'all some Twinkies and you know what I mean, all this and that. And I remember Bone Thugs and Harmony Art of War had just came out and they had that song Thug Love, I think, with Tupac on it. I think that's the name of it. And another one was like shh, shh, pow, pow, like doing that. He had some headphones on playing, like he's just dancing, you know what I mean? And they took it as like he threatened them, like he's shooting at them and man, this and that. And it's like, oh yeah, and you with him, you tall motherfucker. Telling me, man, fuck you too. Hey, bro, this ain't what you want, nigga. Fuck you. Fuck them 30's. Hell, what? Oh yeah, that's how you feel, man. I ain't gonna fight your big ass. I'm just call my big brother. Fuck your big brother. Badass kid, right? He actually called his big brother to fight me. That's what's even more crazy. He called his big brother. And I remember leaving school and I saw them niggas deep in the car. Like they was deep. It was about 6 of them. And they came in. I went back in the building. They came in. There's like kind of like a move, like this him, this him, this him, moving through all the kids. School police came out. Excuse me, sir. No, can I help you? Yeah, I'm looking for somebody. Well, you know the person name. Man, get out of my way, old man. You know what I mean? Talk to him like that. He's like, I'm gonna have to ask y'all to leave. Man, fuck you, old man. They Mika. They start beating up the school police. You hear me? They had to be like, I don't know, maybe 18, 17, 18. They was grown, but they wasn't grown. You see what I mean? And they started beating up school police. Assistant principal came out. They put hands on him. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and skedaddle this other way. You feel me? I see what they did to them. They ain't about to do that to me. Made it back to the hood. I was like, whew, mama, I'm happy to see you. Like, I gave her all the hugs, loves, and kisses and you could think of. And I'm like, you extra nice. I'm like, yeah, how's school? It was good. It was good. You know, ain't said nothing about nothing, right? I get to school the next day. No lie, no exaggeration. I'm in class and they had the trailers like outside. So if you was in elementary, you was outside. If you was in middle school, you was in the actual building. So we was in the trailer outside. And I'm just, you know what I mean, looking out the window, scared, peeping. And I get a call over the intercom. Charles Watkins, come to the principal's office. Charles Watkins, come to the principal's office. I'm like, me, principal office? I'm like, excuse me, teacher, they just called me to the principal office. Can I go? Yeah, you can go, Charles. It's all right. Should I take my book bag or should I just leave it? Oh, no, leave it. You should be fine. You should be fine. All right, if you say so. Made it over there to the principal office. Dude coming out. The main dude there. I'm going to get my big brother. I forgot his name, but he looked like Mac 10 back in the day. But anyway, I'm going to get my big brother. Him. He coming out the office, head down. You know what I mean? With that sad look. I'm like, oh, snap. So they sitting down. I start taunting him like, yeah, doing that. So, hey, Charles, come in, have a seat. Yeah, what's going on? What's happening? If you know, we just interviewed him, and yesterday his brothers came up and they assaulted our staff members. We had to call the police and they had to go to jail. We got to the bottom of it. He said he had an altercation with you earlier in the lunchroom. Oh, okay, altercation. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. Well, you won't be in any trouble or anything. This is just a protocol because we want to understand why was that. But they said they were there looking for you. So just tell us your side of the story. What happened? Nah, I don't really know what happened. What did he say? Well, he said it was altercation. So, like I said, you won't get in trouble. This protocol. We just need to make sure this type of thing doesn't happen again. All right. Well, basically, I live in the 20s and he lives in the 30s and they don't like each other. White dude. What? 20s, 30s? I don't understand, Charles. Can you elaborate? Security behind me. Bloods and Crips, sir. Bloods and Crips. Oh, no. We have a zero tolerance for gang activity. We don't have to do that. I'm gonna have to call your mother, and you are facing expulsion for a year from all of LA County schools because this is not something we deal with. We have a zero tolerance for that. What? No. Please, you said you weren't gonna call my mama. You said I wasn't gonna get in trouble. Yeah. That was before you told us this. Go ahead and wait outside. Man, they had police waiting there with me. My mama come up there. Mind you, she's still young. She's still high. What the fuck you got me up here for? And da. Yeah, man, we're going to have to expel Mr. Watkins for LA County schools for a year because he's involved in gangs. What? He ain't in no gang. You can't convince your mom you do wrong, right? She not her baby. But he ain't in no gang, this and that and the third, da. Unfortunately, ma'am, he is. And he will tell you, they lying. Hey, they lie. I don't know what they talking about. Man, come on. I'm tired of this shit. So she cussed me out the whole time. And at the time, we had a stepbrother who was well grown. He's like maybe late 20s, early 30s at the time. So he was in the car. He drove because my mama didn't have a car. He drove and she put me in the car. It was him, my little brother Shamar, my mother, and myself. We drove to Pasadena, and she like, yeah, you on punishment, this and that and the third, blah, 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 right? So he's like, dang, you want to be in the gang? You in the gang? Now, man, I'm going to show you how they do gangs and blah, blah, blah. Right? That is not your job, sir. You is not my parent. But nevertheless, we get to Pasadena at her in-laws' house, his grandparents' house, if that makes sense, right? She talking to the in-laws. I'm in the counter. Yeah, they yelling at me too. They talking like, what are you gonna do now? You out of school, the education and this and that. And, they well older because her husband was older. You know what I mean? He was probably in his 40s, so they was up there. Anyway, dude was like, psst, come outside, Daryl. I said, bro, come on outside. I gotta talk to you for a minute. Go on out there. That's my mama. Mom, you don't know what this man. All right, go out there. You ready? Gonna show you what they do to games. I'm like, yeah, come on, let's go, get it over with. He boom, tag, boom, boom. He is welling on me like a grown ass man. I'm falling into the paint racks. Like, get up. You want to be in the game? Come on. Like, this nigga is really dog walking me like how I be dog walking people. Right? Grown ass man. I'm probably like 8, 9, 10, somewhere, whatever a second grader is. I'm that. He dog walk me. Yeah, now this is what they do to gangs. I bet you won't be in the game no more. He get done. It was maybe about a 3-minute, throwing me around, punching on me, beating on me, right? Nobody stopped it. Nobody even knew. I ain't even tell. We go back in. I'm like, man, I'm gonna have this nigga killed as soon as we go back to the hood, because at that point, I had a little notoriety amongst my peers and even the older bloods, and they even hit me like, oh, whatever you need, we got you. I remember I had them buy me like a cap gun from the ice cream truck. At that point, you can just take off the orange cap and it looked like a real strap. And it, pow! I remember having one of them. And they bought me one. And he was like, yeah, you and your brother shared. Man, come on. I remember shooting it in the house. And my mom, what the hell was that? She was in the bathroom. What the fuck? So she took it from me. My stepfather took it. But I'm like, yeah, back to the story. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have this nigga killed when we get back to the hood. We never made it back to the hood. So God saved you, because murder was on my heart. I felt, I guess, violated. I felt painful. I felt hurt. And I wanted to lash out only towards him. Like, if you did something to me, that's when I want to lash out to you. I didn't even know. So I ain't holding no grudges towards her, none of that. But she's like, y'all had y'all talk? Man, yeah. But she didn't know, I ain't tell. He just beat me up or none of that. It is what it is, you feel me? But like I said, I had murder on my mind. He was gonna die. If we made it back to the hood, I promise you, he was gonna die. And me now as a grown man, there's 2 things would have happened if I would have brought that to the table. One, there's 3 things would have happened probably. One, they would have just roughed him up real quick. You know what I mean? Bad, made him get up out of there, damaged his property, broke a couple bones on him, right? Jumped him. That's probably 1. 2, they probably would have laid it down, and then I would have had to do something totally crazy for the deed that they did. Or 3, they would have gave me the gun and had me do it. And as an adolescent, as a child, you would have not been thinking straight to do it, and you easily influenced as a kid, so you would have done it. I would have done it because it was on my mind to do anyway. So God definitely saved that man from murder, because like I said, it was definitely on my heart to do. And what I've realized is something that's on my heart to do. It's gonna get done, right? But yeah, we never made it back to the hood. From that point, we went to San Francisco and see my mother's daddy. My mama daddy in San Francisco, and it was cool. Like, we was just around a bunch of older people. He took us to Pier 39. I had to cut grass with one of them like push lawnmowers. It wasn't no like gasoline. It was just a regular like just blades, and you got to push it. And, like, man, this is hard labor. Don't they got like real? That he ain't have. He was older. He cut grass like that. Yeah, it's a picture of this. We cutting the grass, and from there, she got a hold of my daddy. Hey, your boys is missing you. Y'all need to, she's going through hard times. I think that's when she first started doing drugs, dabbling into the drugs. And so she has things going on in her marriage too. I bring her on, let her tap into all that as she will. But so you got me expelled from school, right? Me expelled from school. She's doing drugs and having marital problems. Yeah, it's time for y'all to go back to Indianapolis with y'all daddy. He sent 3 bus tickets. One for me, one for Shamar, and one for my mama. And that was the end of my LA experience. Like, let's see what else happened out there. I got sprayed with some spray paint, some red paint. Remember going over another dude, Phil House, who stayed around the corner from us in the back of the projects. Dad, can you come out and play? He had a dirt bike. I was like, and his brother was like, man, don't come to my house. Like, he knew my reputation, but he's a square ass nigga. Like, he was one of those, like, all he did was spray paint shit. He didn't stand on shit. He ain't had no violence, like, he was a wannabe. I was a wannabe too, but I wasn't wanting to be that. I was just a daredevil, if you will. But he was one they really like rejected. Like, nigga, they was bullying him. So he had to get his off on me. He spray painted me. He said, don't come to my house. Hey, you step 1 foot in my door. And I stepped in his door. I remember running home crying, my mama, he just spray painted my whole face red. And yeah, I remember that. That was probably so